Today we are talking about moving with kids. Keep watching. Hey there, it's Riggs here, a realtor with Coldwell Banker King Thompson, bringing you all things real estate here in Central Ohio. Today, I'm bringing you a little bit different video, but it does relate to real estate if you're moving, and we're talking moving with kids. I have had some wonderful clients and even just friends of mine who have moved with kids. I have moved with kids myself, so there's just some great tips I think are worth sharing here for folks who are doing so. Because I tell you what, it's definitely takes some planning, because I think we can all agree moving is hella stressful. Like, it is. I don't care how much you pack, how prepared you are. There's just a level of stress and anxiety and sometimes frustration that just comes with moving. So when you add little ones or even big ones, because some of those big kids can be the worst, they can make it hard. But anytime you're moving with kids, it just gets a bit more complex because you have so many people that you have to consider, emotions, making sure they're packed up, making sure they're ready to go. So I'm just going to share with you some tips from some of my clients, my friends, and myself that I think are things you want to keep in mind as you're looking to move with kids. Let's get started. All right, the first thing I think you should definitely keep in mind is to consider the timing of your move. Now, most people move in the summer. In fact, I read that about 40 million people move in the summer. Why do you think that is? You guessed it, it's the summertime. Kids are out of school. Most of us are taking vacations as well to spend time with our friends, our family. It's just a great time to get a move in, especially because kids are out of school. But consider the timing. Do you have one of your kids is going to be a senior this coming school year? Does it really make sense? Is the timing right to move and take them out of their school system to go to a new school system their senior year? No, probably not. But also think of your younger ones too. If they're going from 3rd grade to 4th grade, that can still be a big impact on them to leave what they know to go to something else. So definitely consider the timing when that transition might be best. I would also say think about the routine that you've created for your kids. As parents, I think it just works the best when you can get your kids in a routine. So think about that. If your timing of the move is going to disrupt their routine, how can you lessen that? Or how can you try to make that almost seamless or fluid? I think that'll help them, especially little babies. If they're used to taking a nap by noon and waking up and eating by this time and back in bed by this time, like, try to make it where your move doesn't disrupt that routine, because you might have really unhappy little ones. The next tip I have for you would be to help them transition. You know, when you're in the house and you know the house is yours, allow them to run through there and pick out their room. Let them pick out their paint colors. Let them determine where their bed's gonna go, their Xbox is gonna go, their toy box. You know, let them figure those things out. Maybe even plan a little bit of an adventure for them to help them transition. Help them figure out where the park is, or the ice cream shop, or the pizza place, or whatever they enjoy doing, the bike path. I know kids love that. Just help them find and create an adventure to find those things that are so important to them that they enjoy doing now in their old space, in their new space. You help them transition so that they can basically see this move is pretty fluid. Everything's going to be just fine. Another tip for you would be to involve the kids as much as possible. And I think about, especially when you're packing, I think this might be the hardest part, is when you start doing all this moving and you're decluttering and you're getting rid of stuff and you're giving away stuff and you're keeping stuff, and they feel like they don't have a say in any of that. And listen, you guys know I always talk about decluttering your spaces, and moving is a great time to do it, but let the kids take their first tackle at doing that. So give them their boxes, give them some fun stickers to mark their boxes, or some really cool duct tape to tape their boxes, whatever it may be, to make it fun for them. But let them go through there and decide the things they're taking along and the things they're giving away, and give them some parameters for how they should do that. You will find that they will do a good amount of the work for you, and you won't have to, but it includes them in it. Also, make sure you're never too busy, never too caught up in your plan to listen listen to them. If they are really concerned about getting rid of things or moving to this new area, you want your kids talking to you, and you never want to dismiss how they honestly feel, because it really is a time that can be filled with fear and anxiety and worry. So make sure you take the time to slow down, to speed up, listen to your kids if they express any concerns to you, and address them, and let them know that you're going to be there with them to work through it, and that everything's going to be okay, and that you're going to do everything to keep what they're used to right with them too. Another tip for you is to help them adjust. And by doing that, you're getting them back in their routine. I've talked about how critical this is. And so for you, it's going to come back to planning. When you're packing those boxes, I suggest mark the boxes that will help you put the spaces back in the house that they're so used to unpack those spaces first. I think of the kitchen, the bathroom, maybe you guys do board games every Friday and Saturday. Make sure those things are marked so you can open those boxes up and get those spaces back up and running so they feel like they are in a routine. I would also suggest have your kiddos pack a backpack or a suitcase for like 3 to 4 days worth of stuff, and for them to put what's most important to them in that suitcase or backpack. That way they've got clothes in there so they don't have to go tearing through boxes and can't find their favorite socks, but they'll have clothes in there. Maybe they have a special book they like you to read, their little teddy bear, their blanket, whatever they may need to make them happy. They already have it in a very quick and easy place to pull it, so again, they're back into their routine. Another thing you can do is help them connect with the neighbors, get to know some of the kids in the neighborhood, maybe get them to a park where they can meet other kids. Just get them familiar. Take that adventure a little bit further and make sure they can find things to feel comfortable and right at home in their new space. My final tip before I share my little moving story with you is to plan and prepare much sooner than you think you need to. I read an article that I thought was pretty great that said you should start planning and preparing for your move 2 to 3 months before you even think you're going to be moving, and then pack 2 to 3 weeks before your actual move day. And as you could agree, it's just going to eliminate the stress and anxiety you may feel for being responsible for packing your entire house. But if you take my tips, especially with the one of involving your kids as much as you can to help in this process, I think it will really lessen things for you. But I would say I'm definitely a checklist person, and I would definitely say if you're not, there are a lot of great checklists. If you just Google them, I'd say use a checklist so that you don't forget key things and then realize it move day. So I hope this was helpful. I am going to share with you guys just a tip from me personally. I have been in my home now for about 15 years, and I have my daughter and my niece living with me, and I believe they were about, I don't know, probably 6 or 7, maybe 7 or 8 years old. And we were living in a townhouse in one of our suburban areas here just outside of Columbus. And we purchased a home. And all of us were excited. We talked about having a home for some time. So the girls were so excited. But what I did was I moved them from one school system to another school system, which I had to do because the homes and the new school system fit my budget better. And it gave us more space, which is what I wanted for the girls. But I didn't think for a second how much that could impact them by doing that. Now, I didn't consider timing. We moved in October, so school started in late August, early September, but I was thinking it had just started with school, so it'll be no big deal. They'll make new friends at the new place. They won't be the new kids. No way. You guys, the kids, the girls were so excited about the move, but were not happy that they were leaving their friends behind. And no matter what I said, because I didn't talk to them and really see how it impacted them and to really give them the time to adjust, I just threw them in. It was like, we bought a house and 3 weeks later we were moving. I mean, it was really that fast for them. It was really traumatic. And it really helped me know how much we all deal with our own mental health, and it is very real. And the amount of anxiety, frustration, and quite honestly, at times just pure anger they had with me broke my heart, because I couldn't just undo the home purchase. You get what I'm saying? I couldn't just undo my house. We bought it. We had it. I have to sell it now. And I just felt like they were so unhappy. But I think if I could have done some things differently, I totally would have. It would have given them time to adjust just the way I had to leave behind friends that I made in my neighborhood to, meet some new people. I had the time because I was going through the entire process. I didn't give it to them. So I think these tips I share with you today are going to be most helpful to help you just ease the stress and anxiety and frustration it can be of moving with kids. So if that video was helpful for you, please just like this video so that I know it was beneficial to you. And then if you have any comments, leave those down below. But for today, if this video was helpful, in the comment section, put hashtag Oh This Move. Let me know where you're moving from, where you're moving to, and how you're feeling about moving with kids, because I know it is not the easiest thing to do, but hopefully these tips have helped you best plan accordingly. Well, that's all I have for now, you guys. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any of my videos. Stay fabulous and productive, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.